some quick lateral footwork today, and then we're going to do some quick hand work because we're going to get into some forearm work. So it's nice to have those hands warmed up beforehand. Get kind of like the feet, you know, you like to get the feet warmed up. So get into on the very back of the heel, on the center of the waker with your feet parallel. And welcome, Pam. Welcome, Zoomers. Glad we're here this week. We weren't last week. So I hope whatever she sent you is helpful. She said, oh yeah, I'll send Pam a video so she has something to do. Just sink and breathe. It's always nice to get the heel activated before we start. I always like giving my toes a lift up to the ceiling just to kind of stretch out the back of my Achilles, the back of my calf. I tend to be one of these people who come down a little bit too hard on my feet, so I get really tight in the Achilles and the calf. Okay, now let's go up that lateral line. So come right before the heel on that outside line. And if you want to do a little sickling of your feet, like getting your big toe off the ground, you can do that. If it's easier for you to kind of bow out a little bit with your knees, that's fine too. You just don't want to stress your ankles out. Just taking deep breaths. Maybe bring the weight over a little bit more to the one foot, one side. Right, for me, it's the right, probably. It's probably looks like my left, but it's my right. Mirroring. I still can't figure out how people do that mirroring stuff when they're teaching like aerobics and stuff. They're standing looking right at you, and they have to say left when they're really using their right. It's like, I get confused enough. And then go to the other side and just press in. Yeah. Well, they're facing you, and so you're trying to mirror, and they do that with yoga too. And I was like, wow, I keep that all straight. I think it just comes with lots of practice. Bring those weight back to center. Just press in a little more. And then let's come to that halfway point at the arch. And again, if you want to do some sickling out to get those big toes off the floor, you can always go out those legs a little bit just so you can balance. If you don't want to do that, that's fine too. You can just stand straight. Just sink nice and deep. And then shift over to the right, press in. And back to center, shift over to the left, press in. And then come back to center. And at this point, you can do some rocking and rolling on that outside edge too, just to break up anything that feels a little bit more tender. Stuck tissues, we call it. In other words, places we don't usually walk. So just break it up a little bit. Notice difference from side to side. Maybe you need to spend a little more time on one side than the other. And then we're gonna move on to that pinky ball mount. So just tuck any tissues under. So we're on that lateral edge. If you've got like oozing out, you just tuck it under. It's supposed to be raining here and it's just not doing anything. It's just been spitting little sprinkles of rain. Kept looking at the radar before I left and it's like, all this looks like it was raining. Just sprinkling. We really need the rain here. I don't know. No, they don't need it in some places, but they sure need it here. So then bring that weight over to the right, sink in. Yeah, my ideal situation is never having to water my plants, you know, I get so much stuff out and it started looking like it's dying, you know, just these normal perennials that look just like they're dying and you're like, yeah, I better water those guys. And then shift over to the left. Don't remember ever having problems like that. And then come back to center, really get a nice deep bend in the knees to get a nice deep pressure into the waker. And then we're going to go ahead, come off the waker, feel that lateral side, feel how nice and grounded you are now on that side. Rachel's really grounded.
Oh, I'm sorry, I just stuck my head right in the camera.
That's all right. And then we're gonna start doing the toes. So we'll start on the outside. Do the pinky toe and the neighbor. That's got to be mermaid heaven at our. Some of those places sound fabulous. I brought Rachel an article that was in the Sunday paper on mermaiding. Get the Sunday Journal, you might have seen it.
And to a mermaid tail, I totally understand.
I figured she could relate to it.
Samara was really into mermaids when she was younger, and I made her the mermaid tail.
Oh, cool.
And she had the fins, the mermaid fins.
Yes.
And then when you get nice and deep, you can lift up that heel. If you can bring the weight as much forward as possible, that really helps you spread those toes. And then go to the other side, lifting that heel, pressing in. You should take that home, read it before you go to bed, and you'll have sweet mermaid dreams.
I had the wildest. All I needed was a tail in my dream last night. You were in my dream too, Paula. Oh no, Pam's calling.
Uh-oh.
Did we lose you, Pam?
Hi.
Hello?
Hi.
Hey.
I've been here a while, but I don't have any audio, so I'll follow along visually.
No audio.
Well, it says I do, but I don't.
On the waker.
Okay, I've got
Oh,
audio.
wait, now I think I do.
Try that.
I think I do now. But better mute me because I've been coughing.
Okay, I'm gonna mute you.
Okay.
All right, bye, Lovey.
That's weird. Having her call.
I know. I was like, what is going on?
And then you can bring that heel up. Yeah, the footwork is pretty easy to follow without hearing me chatter. You can kind of see.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
And then bring that heel down.
That's what I get for reading an article.
Yeah.
Ignoring my phone.
Well, at least you have your phone.
True. Sorry, Pam.
Bring that heel up
I can't even balance
and
today.
down. And then go to the last spot, big toe and second toe. Spread them out on the waker.
I can't do it again. I need the wall. That's it.
We all could use a wall sometimes, right?
I need a little support.
Bend the knees, press in, and then bring that heel up.
See what happens in my life when I decide to go to Costa Rica the next week. I get that date was the day my mom gave us COVID.
really?
And then do the other foot, nice stretch. Yeah, I just want to know what days to book the ticket for. I'm sad we can't go on the same flight, but
Well,
I can't, I'm too, I need a bed. I don't want to sit up or sleep in a spa. I don't think I could sleep.
no, see, I can sleep anywhere.
Well, I can't. And then step off the waker. And just feel that nice activation you've given your toes. And we're gonna do a quick dorsal stretch of the foot because we've spent a little time on the bottom of the foot. So just give yourself, turn your toes under, give it a quick dorsal stretch. And if you're gonna bring it down too far, make sure your knee, your hip, and your ankle are all in alignment. We want a nice straight line. I always have to kind of hold on to my thigh because otherwise it wants to collapse. Collapse inward, and that's not what we want. And then go to the other side. And if you're a rock star like Rachel, you can do it without padding.
They teach it too much.
Yeah,
And I make my body deal with it. You are gonna do it.
just a nice stretch, and then come off. And now we're gonna do some quick hands, okay? Before we get into the forearm work that Rachel wants to do. This will help kind of wake that up.
Plus, who doesn't want to call it quick hands?
Quick hands, yeah. So you might think your wakers are okay like they were for the feet, but really your shoulder distance is wider than your hips. So you want to get them shoulder distance apart. The best way is always to bring them up over your head and place them down. And we're just going to start with the heels of the hands, just like we started with the heel of the foot. And we're just going to press in and just keep sinking down. Try not to lock your elbows out. I know it's tempting sometimes to want to stiffen everything up, but this really comes all doing this, especially if you can stay with your wrist and your shoulder parallel to the waker. It really does help get into the shoulder. It works that whole chain all the way up.
Yeah, I feel it all the way in the middle.
And just some breaths here. Nice background music.
We're raising our energy
And
level.
now you probably have those little indentations in the bottom. So we're just going to do some quick palm directional work. So we're going to go forward. We're going to go outwards. We're going to go inwards. And we're going to go backwards. And then we'll separate out the fingers. So put palms, fingers forward. And I like to do some breathing with this so I don't lock my elbows out. And as I like to do the cat move, the yoga cat, because that's the way kind of Yamana was teaching it on her video. So you exhale and you just bring yourself into cat and arch your back. And as you're arching your back, at the same time, you're pressing into the waker, not locking your arms out, but pressing into the waker, getting a nice expansion across that upper back, and then you come back to neutral. And we'll do that 3 times at each direction we go with the fingers. So exhale again, up like a cat. And then come back to neutral. And take an inhale, and then exhale up like a cat. And then back to neutral. And then give your wrist maybe a quick shake out and bring your fingers outwards. And again, you want that flexion in that elbow. Probably the eyes of the elbow are facing each other. And just want to press in So you're right in the middle of that palm, and then take that exhale up like a cat. And then come back to neutral. And exhale again, big cat move. Pressing into the waker. And then back to neutral. And last time, up like a cat. And then come back to neutral. And again, maybe a quick little wrist shake. We'll do a big one at the end. And bring the fingers pointing towards each other. So again, we're going to take that big exhale, up like a cat. And back to neutral. Nice inhale, then exhale. And back to neutral. Last time, big exhale up. And back to neutral. Quick shake of the wrists. And now the one that's usually the most difficult for people is putting their fingers towards themselves. Now, if you can't get all the way back, do the best you can. And just keep that nice flexion in those elbows. You don't want to block out. And then again, you're going to take a big exhale up. And then come back to neutral. And big exhale up. And come back to neutral. And last time, big exhale up. And back to neutral. That's really a nice big stretch through that area. Challenging ourselves a little bit, shake it out, and we'll just come quickly and do some finger work. We'll just take our 3 fingers up on the waker. And if you can't get directly over the waker with this move, because of wrists, you can back off a little bit. It's not a huge issue. I mean, it is pretty tough on the wrist.
It is. I usually keep my weight back, elbows bent,
Yeah.
and then I focus on the palm to finger.
Right. That's a good strategy.
My wrists don't like it at all.
And then let's bring that little finger up on the waker, bring the palm, the rest of the fingers down on the floor, and let's stretch that. It's usually not as challenging stretching the fingers as it is the toes out until you get to the thumb, and then you and you go, ah!
That thumb, that carpal tunnel blaze.
That thumb. And then finally bring a thumb. And there's lots of ways to stretch the thumb. I'm just going to stretch it with the fingers straight ahead today. It's a fairly gentle stretch. There are some more rigorous ways to stretch it, but I definitely feel the sharpness here. It's like, it's not an easy digit to stretch.
No, and it has so much flexibility, so they kind of need to do it at like a 360 almost.
Almost, yeah.
You know what? We should add the thumb to the 360 day.
There you go.
There we go. Solution made.
And then the last place we're going to come is right at this little juncture at the base of the thumb. Oh, with all those wonderful nerve endings and acupuncture points right in there, acupressure points, and just press down. This one always relieves a lot of tension from me in the shoulder. This area is always tight for me. And sometimes since I'm not even doing anything with my hands and it gets tight.
You know what they say though, a lot of hand stuff, a lot of shoulder problems come from your hands, and a lot of hand stuff comes from your shoulders. So there's huge connection.
Yeah. So I always like to get on to this spot at least once a day. Today it'll be more than once.
Yeah.
I'll probably do it again tonight. Okay, now you can come off the wakers and just do that big monkey shake. Just shake it out.
Oh,
Let that chicken fat fly.
Exactly. It's invigorating. If you want that chicken flat to go, you gotta actually utilize it.
I can't even
There's nothing
see.
wrong. We like our
I
chicken.
can't see your chicken.
Whatever. What else are we doing today, Paula?
They have a contest.
Hello, Quick Hands. Thank you very much. Not
They're
only is she an
warming you up for
extraordinaire, she's Paula Quick Hands today.
Yeah.
So what you're gonna need is a black ball. Black ball, black ball. We're gonna do the elbow spots / epicondyle. And let's see. Yeah, let's just start there. There we go. We should be good now. So epicondyle, if you bring your elbow up, and I'm gonna come a little closer to the computer, maybe. My body wants to come. So epicondyle is the bump on the sides of the elbow. We're gonna go behind it, at the epicondyle, and in front of it. Are you seeing that? So we're gonna do it on the outside. We're gonna do it on the inside. Yeah, now you can see it. Before the bump, at the bump, in front of the bump, on both sides. So, and then the move is we're gonna have it here, we'll put it on, then palm goes down, then we'll do a horizontal shuffle. And it'll be exhausting. Although my hands were exhausting today. Anyone else like exhausted from doing their handwork? Like just putting my hands down, it was so draining because I apparently have not worked my hands enough lately. So elbow spots, let's start with our right arm. We're gonna do the outside line and then the inside line. So above, at, below. I'm gonna kind of come on an angle here. I'm gonna put all my weight down. You can lay down, you can bend over it. I tend to like to lay down and stretch it out. So bend that arm up. You guys see me okay there too? Find that spot before it, stretch your arm, hold the ball, stretch it out, make that contact, then rotate that palm down. So I've got my upper hand pressing into that bone spot, setting my head on it, rotating it face down, or palm down, and then we're gonna horizontal shuffle towards the thumb and towards the pinky. Everybody got it?
That really gets into the shoulder, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, and it opens up the armpit. And you can stretch that whole right side of your body, so you're elongating in both directions away from the ball as well. Good. Now we're gonna move it to the elbow. So bring that up. Find that elbow spot. So I just bend that arm, put it right on there. Good work, guys. Set it down, rotate that palm face down, keeping connection on that outside line. Oh, feel that. That should be right at our spot that we want to work. Back and forth, horizontal shuffle.
It's hard to keep your palm down. It feels like I'm closing off my shoulder.
Yep, so keep it, you gotta keep it, I'm almost rotating on my side a little.
Oh, okay.
That opens my shoulder up and then I'm staying on the lateral line. Yep, otherwise your shoulder will come in. You don't wanna do that, you're right. So lean a little bit, that helps you tip to the lateral side.
Yeah, that's better.
Good. Good cue though, Paul, I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
good hand, because I never think about that until it felt it
Mhm.
today.
Okay, relax on that, bring it up again. So we're gonna go right below that epicondyle, so bring it down a little, really extend that arm forward, lean yourself sideways, rotate that hand down. So I'm really leaning on there, connect into that spot, now horizontal shuffle. This just makes my arm exhausted. It is a lot of work. This is all the attachments of the lower part of your forearm. So if you have your hand on top of your arm, you can feel those muscles releasing. Good, and let's come out of that one. Woo, shake it out a little bit. Exhausting, isn't it?
Yeah, my shoulder.
Everything, so yeah, really lean over and open it, but those are the connections. That's what's getting to maybe tight back here. That's making it not want to be happy down here. So now we're gonna do the inside line. Same concept, you're not gonna have to roll out. You may need to roll in a little bit. So again, find that bump. Now go right behind it. Extend that arm out. So I'm really pressing that arm out. I'm finding that bone, holding that bone on the ball, and then I'm rotating that palm down. Now I can feel like I can go straighter. My shoulder feels a lot less restricted. Set your head down on your shoulder if you can and rotate that palm, thumb to pinky, horizontal shuffle fashion. This gets more into my armpit, into more of the front of my chest on this side. Yep, I agree. My arm is not exhausted. I could do this like for several more minutes. Unlike the other side where I'm like 2 times, that's it. In a painful way or a good way?
I don't know.
Is it in the armpit or is it in the top of the shoulder? Interesting. So I'm feeling mine all in the armpit right now. Go to the
Yeah, I feel
middle.
it in the top of the shoulder too.
So Paula, do you have less shoulder restriction with yourself up like that? Does that feel better on your shoulder, on your knees?
It feels better on my body.
Okay,
Not
try.
necessarily my shoulder, it feels about the same.
You can try that. I am not having any shoulder
I'm
involvement
not a
at all,
stomach sleeper person or stomach person.
but I'm also a stomach sleeper, so.
No, I don't like being on my stomach for any length of time.
Okay, we're at the middle of the elbow on the inside. We're gonna adjust as B. Everybody's shoulders are gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Because they're not sharp shooting pain, it's discomfort, so it's telling us that it's an area of restriction, so we probably need to do the lateral line of the chest at some point, today.
Well, that's probably a good idea.
Yeah, we'll get that in there. Maybe we'll skip that instead. We'll do that instead of the freestyle anterior chest. So we're rotating horizontal shuffle on the middle elbow. And now let's move it to the lower elbow and we'll do something to release that chest or release the shoulder. Don't worry. I'll add it. I will modify it. Stretch it in, really connect, rotate that hand down, find that base of the below the epicondyle bump on the inside line. Are you breathing over there? I wonder if maybe putting a pearl ball under your armpit, would that help? The problem is I don't have the sensation at all, so I'm having a hard time figuring out.
It's just super, super tight right here on the top.
Okay, so then we have to do a humerus release. I'll teach you a humerus release. Okay, finish that one, and we're gonna go and we're going to slide in and release the upper shoulder really quick. So what we're having in class, and maybe you're having it too, Pam, is that the top of the shoulder is really sore, right where the deltoid attaches, right up there. So what we can do here is we can come from the top and we can come down and rotate right across the top of the humerus as we rotate down. So let's do a little bit of that really quick. So to do that, stay on the arm we just did. We're going to, let me see if I can remember it. We're gonna start at the top of the elbow and we are gonna, or top of the elbow, top of the shoulder, and we're gonna bring it down the top of our humerus. And we're gonna rotate it back and forth as we go. So you're gonna lay on the arm you just went on and we'll modify this. So ball goes onto the top of the shoulder, body goes underneath. Just like that. Can you guys see that? And then you relax your head down, sink into the top of the shoulder. Are you getting it right where it was sore? Perfect.
She may have her humerus stuck more up in her shoulder.
Yep.
line. That's probably, and I know that's part of my problem too.
That's why we're doing this move. So then
Yeah.
rotate a little bit and let that ball go a little bit to the back of the shoulder. Just let your head down. Sink in. It's last time you tell me something hurts. And slowly rotate back center, so you're stacked lateral. And then we're gonna let that ball roll a little bit into the front. Just let that head kind of go straight forward. And then center it again. And then this is where the fun part comes, to pull that humerus out of the shoulder. We're gonna push ourselves up with the ball on that point. So inhale, bring that upper leg up. Exhale, lift those hips, push yourself down just a little bit. Oh, there we go. Set the hips back down, sink into the ball. Feel that pulling out of the humerus, or pulling that bone out of the shoulder joint. And then you can rotate a little bit left and right. Relax your head. Rotate into the front. Center it one more time. Stack both leg up again and push yourself up. Ball comes down just a little bit more. Let that head down. sink into the meat. You're right, probably where the deltoid is ending. It can be wicked in here. Keep breathing. Let that ball rotate a little in the back. With relaxed head. And then rotate a little bit in the front. And then just let yourself rotate right off that ball onto your back. And just take a minute, check in with that shoulder, check in with the lengths of your arm. Your arm may be substantially longer. Mine is substantially longer than the other one. How does that feel up in the top of the shoulder joint? Yeah, it's huge. So like we all know in the studio, all of our poor humorists are jammed back up into our shoulder. So that's what happens if you have an issue that's not releasing. We go figure out how to release it if it's stuck. So you gotta let us know so that we can make it rock. Now let's do the other side and see what happens. So that might be something that you need to do on a regular basis to open up this area down here.
Well, I broke my arm way up high here as a kid. I dislocated the shoulder.
Oh, so maybe that we're finally getting to the root, but look at your mom, look at the whole right side of the body. Like how much space is between ear to elbow? I mean, ear to shoulder. I keep calling this an elbow. Can you see it? Yeah, it is awesome. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So we'll do the epicondyles on both sides, then we'll hit the humerus joint. Da-dum-dum-dum. Let's do the outside, then the inside. So you can bring yourself up. You can bring yourself like this is what Pam's doing. This is Pam, you're not doing this. Maybe you are. I don't even see you.
No, I think it's because it's easier on my lower back to do it this way.
Go for that if that's if you're having any
that's why
low
I'm
back
not a
issues.
stomach because my lower back would give me issues.
Well, you know, if you just have enough guts, just sinks right in. Okay, arm out, outside elbow. Find that upper point above the epicondyle. Stretch it out. Remember, lean a little bit. So I'm leaning way on my lateral side to get it on there. So I automatically lean onto the lateral side. So now I'll just remember to coach it. Rotate that palm down. Connect into that ball right above the epicondyle, into that bone. Oh, feel the humerus on the other side. I can feel the heat coming off of my upper shoulder.
Yeah, me too.
That's awesome. That's telling us we probably need to do that move a heck of a lot more. Rotate your palm down, and now it's horizontal shuffle, really staying connected to that point with the ball. Good. Let's bend those elbows up. Find that middle point on the actual epicondyle. Extend away from the ball in both directions. Rotate that palm face down, connect, and when you're ready, horizontal shuffle.
Yeah, this would not be the position you'd want to be in if you have knee issues.
No.
But lower back issues, maybe.
Mhm.
It's like a child's pose.
Oh, it's comfortable. Somebody's phone's ringing. Now bring that ball to just below that epicondyle, connect in, stay on that lateral side, really extend and stretch. Connect in, palm down, horizontal shuffle. I'm getting a really nice stretch all the way out my fingers. Beautiful. Now we're going to bring that back up. We're going to do the inside line. So no more lateral rotation, maybe even more of anterior face down rotation. Again, be mindful of your back, your belly, your knees. Find that spot above the epicondyle. Stretch yourself up. Rotate that palm down. Good. Connect in. Once you feel the connection, then you can horizontal shuffle. Everybody a little bit less intense over here.
I can feel the same spot in the shoulder.
Huh, must be tight on both sides.
Well, yeah.
That's good though. I mean, if you're gonna have, you know, something, again, bring it down to the lowest spot now, rotate that palm down. Dream about being a mermaid and going to Costa Rica. Or wherever you wanna go.
Yeah, I wonder how Sue travels.
That's what was my next question.
Yeah. Ask her.
I will. She wants to get together on a Friday, so at her pool. It's like, darn, it's like torture. It sounds fabulous. I'm like, oh, you want to invite me to your in-ground pool at your house? Yes, I'll be there. Okay, now let's take this ball to the upper elbow. God, it's not every time I say elbow, I really mean your shoulder. We're gonna take it to the top of the shoulder, top of that joint. Remember, right at the top. So here's the top of the shoulder. You're gonna go right down that humerus line, deltoid, right to the attachment, and we're gonna rotate back and forth. Back of the shoulder, front of the shoulder, down a little bit, back of the shoulder, front of the shoulder, down a little bit, back of the shoulder, front of the shoulder. Here we go. Because I can't see the ball, even though I wore a not black sleeve. Still can't see
It's
it.
not as tight on the side, but it's still.
Yep. So again, get that ball right on the top. And you can even push yourself up onto it. That's kind of how I like to do it. Ooh, I'm gonna fall off now. Get on the very top, relax that head down, sink in right on the middle. Breathe, relax. Soften the top of the shoulder. We've got a nice thick band of cartilage here that attaches that beautiful, or tendonish stuff. Fibrous tissue attaching that deltoid onto the shoulder. Now let's rotate, let that ball go into the front of the shoulder. Pushes it back a little bit. So we're staying right on that same line. We're just going horizontal. One more breath here. Then rotate to the back. Oh, that is super tight. Let that head down if you can. Add more weight into the ball. Right? I'm totally stuck as well. I can't move at all. So if you're more tight in the back, that's telling us one thing, and more tight in the front, you know, it's what you're doing with your body. So more interior stuff, you're going to be tighter in the front. More stuff in the back is probably more rotation and doing more work up in your upper part of your body. So let's rotate you nice and center. And then we're going to bring that upper leg up a little bit, and we're going to push our body up. Let that ball go down into the actual humerus. Sink on, let that head down. Straight in the middle. Remember, you'll be an inch taller on this side of your arm as soon as this gets done. It may be really wicked. Mine is really sore in here today. Inhale, exhale, rotate it to the back of the front, either way. One more breath. Rotate that ball to the front to the back, whichever way you didn't go yet. One more breath. Center that ball, and let's push ourselves up one more time. Top leg comes up, push us down right into where that deltoid attaches in. Super wicked spot. Oh yeah. This is where I used to have a giant bruise on my, no, I think it's the other arm. It's the other arm. The ridiculous things that we do to ourselves. I thought I would make apple cider, and I had a giant apple press, and I put it on top of the picnic table, which was stupid. Then I tried to bring it down, and I didn't realize that my dad wasn't strong anymore, and we almost dropped the 300-pound thing, and I shoved my arm out and got a giant hematoma. But I think I just rolled that out on the other side. And then center yourself. We're going to breath that ball. Just either you can bring it back up, or you can just roll right off. I'm going to just roll right off. And we're gonna just assess those arms and make sure they're both true directions, the same length now. Out of your shoulders, take a moment, just unwind. That is a lot of work. I have like, put your hand on your shoulders, feel the massive heat coming off the sides of your shoulders. Everyone else like super hot. Yeah, it's amazing. So if you're really hot there, this is a move you need to do more than once every 6 months, because I think we haven't done it in like 6 months. It's one of the things I usually need. I never do it. I don't like it. It hurts. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't do it. So it is at 11:40. Okay, so what we're gonna do next is we are gonna do some beautiful laying some golden eggs, because we had a hip request today and they wanted their
Hooray.
yes, hip hip hooray on the pubic ramus. So pubic ramus is the connection of the pelvis. Sorry, that's gonna roll right. Almost onto you, didn't get you. So pubic ramus, pubic bone is here. Right in the connection is where the pubic bone comes off. That's the pubic ramus. You can actually sometimes even feel it, a little like connection spot. We're gonna start on the pubic bone. We're gonna bring it up to the top of the pelvis, and we are gonna creep down all the way to the pubic bone, to the pubic ramus, all the way through, come out the back side right here to our sit bone, inside of the sit bone. So it's going to push and open and spread the entire hip pelvis off of the body and spread and open through here. So if you're really tight in here, you like to clench your butt. This is a great move to release that. I like to use the gold ball, because who doesn't want to lay a golden egg? I'm all about laying golden eggs because I grew up watching Willy Wonka. And that's all there's to it. So golden eggs.
Ticket, yeah.
The golden ticket, they had golden eggs. Actually, the geese used to lay golden eggs, didn't they? I'm pretty sure.
I don't
I'm pretty
remember.
sure, because I remember them like shining up the golden eggs, the Oompa Loompa guys.
I
and
still
throwing
have the
eggs around.
DVD, so.
Because it gets confusing.
I can
In the new
rewatch
one, there's squirrels and they're nuts. So they
Oh.
changed it. So, but I'm
Oh, I
pretty
have
sure
the
it's a golden
original
egg.
Gene
I
Wilder
always-
one.
Do it like as the newer one.
You didn't watch
I've
the.
never watched.
Oh my
wow.
God, you have to watch the old one. Gene Wilder. I mean, come on, guys. Gene Wilder is one of my favorite
Oh, he's
characters,
crazy. Love
period.
him.
I crazy love Gene Wilder. And him with God, who was it? Oh, who was the black guy that used to play with him? Oh, it doesn't matter, but him and that other guy was great. And I can't remember. My kids watch it all the time. Forget it. I can't remember. Is it Blazing Saddles? No, that's a different one. Shit, I can't remember. Sorry. Get on your pubic bone. Maybe it'll come to me while I'm laying my golden egg. Although it's so sad, Gene Wilder has left this world, hasn't he? I think recently, or ish in the last few years. Everything in the last few years is recent for me. Okay, tip your right hip. We're gonna bring this ball up onto the top of the pelvis, stay on the inside of the pelvis. So literally just bring yourself down and you're gonna be right there. Now for this move, all you gotta do is turn the toe out. So you're gonna turn your toes out on the right side. That's gonna be about all you need, and then just let the ball spread and sink into the pubic bone, pubic ramus, all that other fun stuff. Inhale, exhale, sink. You can bring yourself up a little bit and just set yourself down. Engage that belly and wrap into the golden ball, into the golden egg. Plus, we need Paula here. We just have it at the top of the pelvis on the right side and we turned our toes out. That's it.
Oh, wonderful. I just noticed there was a little extra pressure there when I got on.
Oh, that's just not going to be good. Go to the bathroom. It's hard to make an egg and lay an egg if you have to pee. If you have the golden shower happening, it's just not a good combo. Now, inhale, bring your elbows up. You can shower your golden egg, I guess.
We used to get golden showers at my infant massage. They were all ended up being all boys, but they were all naked, and every once in a while, whoop,
I was wondering where she was going with that.
infant massage. It was fun.
I'm glad you said it, that I had a full different visualization. Okay, let's pull ourselves up on an exhale. Okay, here we go. Exhale, pull yourself up. Bring that ball down, but it's still in the pelvis area. Left foot, or I'm sorry, right foot is just turned out a little bit. Oh, and just feel that spread. So we're right, I'm feeling it spreading right above in the backside of my back of my hip, right in that spot that gets kinked and sore when I do a lot of bending and working forward. That's the connection I'm feeling. One more nice super breath. And exhale. Okay, so that exhale, let's bring ourselves up. Then we're gonna arm and crawl forward, legs are like dead weight. We're gonna bring this ball right to the pubic ramus, right to that pubic bone area. Sink on down. Again, we're just breathing. You may have some pulsations in the pelvis. That's all good. We could be laying our last super moon of the year. The last super moon, full moon of the year is August 12th. It is the sturgeon moon. If you guys like to eat sturgeon or catch sturgeon, this would be the month to catch them. Supposedly, says the Native American lunar calendar. Base of that exhale, let's pull ourselves forward one more time. So we're gonna pull ourselves more than one more time. But now it should be right in that middle. So like I'm past the pubic ramus, I'm on that middle of the base of my pelvis, if that makes any sense at all. Gauging that belly, feeling the spread. You should feel a really nice spread on the inside of your leg, a release on the outside back of the leg, maybe a bunch of heat. I actually get a release all the way down the inside of my knee into my foot and into my ankle. We're getting that, I'm releasing the whole adductor line right now.
I just feel like my hip is nice, getting nice and spread open.
Yes.
That's what I feel, because my hips keep wanting to close up on me.
Which is no good. We need nice, strong, wide hips.
Yeah.
You know, once you're done birthing babies, it's hard to get your hips to stay that wide. So you're gonna have to keep working on it. Inhale, exhale, let's pull ourselves forward again. So now I'm getting to the backside and I need to really lean in and lift myself up. That's gonna push that ball, spread that sit bone out a little for me. Well, this is a great one for if you've had hip replacements, you've had any kind of pelvis imbalances. This is a really beautiful one to just keep yourself nice and open and going and moving. And then last but not least, if you can pull yourself forward one more time, go for it. I'm right there touching the sit bone now, engaging that belly, really pressing into the ball, spreading the backside. My backside of my sacrum gets really tight. It runs in my family. Or at least my dad's side. It's fun. I get all the fun problems from both sides.
I know, and I always feel so sorry for Ryan when he starts having issues with something, and I'm thinking, oh God, he gets that from me.
Right? You're like, yep, those patterns run deep. Inhale, exhale, and you can just reach back and pull that beautiful golden egg out you just laid. Take a moment, stretch that leg out, feel you can even stay on your belly and just feel the differences between side to side. Look at your foot, maybe your foot can lay down much flatter. I can do a much better dorsal stretch than I could on the other side. Feels flat here. Just take a moment and assess from leg to leg. I'm betting my leg, if I checked, would be longer. Beautiful little integration. And then we're gonna slowly just bring that ball back up to the pubic bone. I'm gonna rotate sides so that maybe you can see something. I don't know, maybe not. Apparently I need a sip of tea. Back to wearing masks. I have not drank enough water since I started wearing this mask again. But it's okay, because it's the last day I have to wear it. And we have passed the CDC guidelines, yay team. So what we're gonna do here is we're on the pubic bone, we're gonna drop that left hip, we're gonna inhale, exhale, bring it all the way to the top of the pelvis, turn that left foot out now, and sink down. So it's really nice if we start at the top of the pelvis, starting that widening and pressing those hips out, because our body wants to curl in as we age and end up in our soup. And we do not want to end up in our soup. We want to be nice, tall, standing individuals, not dripping into their soup. But it's funny, as you get older, your nose gets longer, and it's like your whole body just melts into your soup.
Oh, geez.
Inhale, exhale, bring those arms up, keep that foot turned out. We're gonna pull ourselves forward. Ball is gonna go into the pelvis. Just staying in between, outside of the pelvis and inside. I'm not quite to the pubic bone yet, just about halfway. Although depending on how big your pelvis is with the gold ball, your body may be touching everything on the ball, that's okay. See if you can feel that connection to the back of the pelvis, back of the hip, and that relaxation. That's what we're shooting for. One more inhale here.
Yeah, check that jaw too, man. Sometimes it wants to tighten up in here.
Oh yeah, there's definitely the pelvis jaw connection. Bring yourself up, exhale, dead weight body, bring yourself forward. Ball is now getting closer to that pubic bone, closer to the pubic ramus. Left foot is slightly turned out, but keeping on as much of the weight of the ball as possible. This is where you might feel that pulsation again. That's perfect. You may feel the connection all the way down the foot. That's cool. Do one more nice breath cycle. Base of that breath, you can bring yourself up. Again, dead weight, pull yourself forward. I'm getting right on the very end of the pubic ramus. Still on the front of the body. Setting down, expanding. So that exhale is bring ourselves up again. Find that right in the middle spot. You may need to stay up on your elbows. Once I get to about the middle, I gotta stay up. Because I am tighter on the back side of my body than I am on the front. That's what it is, Paul. We have 3 musics going.
Well, that's what it is.
I'm like, it finally was like, oh, that's right. I can hear the river. I can hear the music we put on in the studio, and I can hear the
Yeah, and there's a lot of background, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
There is a lot of background. I was like, why? It's because we have all the doors open and the music. I'm just happy I got this room studio flipped over to be a studio today because I had left my community acupuncture up since Monday. Bring yourself forward one more time if you need to get that last connection. Maybe you're already there. And then when you're ready, slowly take it out. Because I have already laid my golden egg. And just take a minute onto your back. integrate it, or take a second longer to finish laying your golden egg, whatever it takes. Ugh. And I'm taking a moment because my body wants to check in, make sure your hands and your feet are now equal length, which is good. Yay, team. Yeah, I don't know if it's bad. I just was trying to figure out why I kept hearing so many different things.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, there's 3 music. It's all right. They're all synergistically working well.
well, I hope so.
We've got river music. We've got all kinds of stuff. What time is it though? So we have 15 minutes. Beautiful. So what we're going to do is a little freestyle anterior chest armpit work. A little bit of an expansion here since we expanded the pelvis. Let's get into the arms. Let's get that extra connection. What you want is either, well, I'm going with the black ball because I don't have a pearl ball over here. So I'm going to use a black ball. You can use a pearl ball. Use if you want. I think there's one in the first room. It's the first room. So fine, we'll go with the pearl ball. I gave
Fine, we'll do
two pearl balls away yesterday to borrow. So of course I gave my pearl ball away. Naturally. It'll come back eventually when I don't remember who it is, and then all of them will come back. So pearl ball is coming. We're gonna do an anterior chest. We're gonna rock out to the arm. We're gonna get into this armpit. We'll do a little bit of rock and roll here. Then we'll come back the other way. Brum, brum, brum. Get into there. Get a little bit of anterior chest. Open up the neck and the jaw because we have a lot of jaw connections when we do the pelvis work. So let's nail that too. Any requests in the room? Okay, then we're gonna rock the anterior chest. So use a pearl because it's nice. It gets the best. It's the best opening for the armpit, I think. Although the gold you can use for expansion if you're feeling really ambitious. I'm not feeling that ambitious. All right, so ball to sternum. Remember, we have a xiphoid process. So go 2 finger breaths above where you think the end of your sternum is. Move breast tissue out of the way because it doesn't feel good to roll on it. Get it there. I'm going to bring my hands just right underneath and I'm going to press up as I get my weight on the ball and just do an anterior chest lift.
Girls feel so good.
I love it. It makes my shoulder blades relaxed. It makes my neck release. Everything could use a lift. Who needs surgical lifts when you have Yamana balls? And you can change your lift every 3 days. So like it's pretty nice. And we're right on schedule because the bells are ringing. So let's take an inhale. Exhale, let's bring this ball up the chest, bring your body down, and then just give it one more lift. So the ball is right at just below the collarbone and you're lifting. But keep dropping that chin down, breathe deeply. This just brings that release a little higher up on those shoulder blades. If I feel like, sometimes I feel like I'm growing wings on my shoulder blades because that's where my body hurts. So this move really helps my wing growth feel much better, much more natural. Although I don't have pain anymore around my shoulder blades because my wings came in. I have big, brown, giant brown wings when I do my meditations and I do things like I have wings now, which is kind of fun. Okay, I think so anyways. What we're gonna do is we'll go through the right arm first. So what I want you to do is take your right arm, press your right breast tissue down, turn your head to the left, bring your right hand out to 3 o'clock. Yes, 3 o'clock.
That's what it is.
That's what it is. Those 3 o'clocks are tough.
Shoulder level.
Shoulder level with the right arm. That's right. And then take your left hand, press that ball towards that right shoulder. Make sure you rotate that palm up or thumbs up. That really opens that shoulder. Now, if you can remember that connection of all those quick fingers that Paula did, or quick hands, you can feel that connection all the way to the fingers. Then I want you to rotate and stack your hips. So keep that ball right where it is, rotate, stack hips. Keep pressing in. It really gets into that shoulder. Do 3, nice press here. Now, here's a new move. We're gonna stay stacked and I want you to bring yourself towards your left hand until that ball goes right to the edge of the chest where the shoulder and the chest meet. So you're bringing yourself towards the left and you're sliding yourself that way and you're pushing the ball right into that corner pocket. Keep your hand and body twisted. Lift your upper left hand up and over your head. Let your head just drop down. Keep your palm open as much as you can. It's tough here. So we really tractioned over that pec muscle and now we locked it right on down. This can be really tight. So just hang in, take some nice deep breaths. One more. Bring that left hand down. And now we're going to take that 3 o'clock hand and we're going to slowly spider crawl it up to 12 o'clock, going, right through all that stuff. Keep yourself lateral body stacked, but bring your face down so that it's rotated towards the ball. And we're getting into the front of that armpit. Thumbs up and breathe. Keeping weight forward, so we're almost doing a little bit of an anterior top of the body, lateral lower. Your hand may go numb, that's totally perfect.
Totally wonderful.
Totally
Yeah.
wonderful. Inhale, exhale, and I want you to stack totally on your lateral side. So now head is on arm, stacked on the side. We're right in the middle of the armpit. Let's do 3 deep breaths here. Keep that jaw relaxed. Again, when we're in the pelvis and in the armpits, they like to clench up. Now let's bring that ball to the back of the armpit. So bring your body forward, rotate a little bit to the back, stay stacked. Maybe bring that upper leg over, get to the back. Palm can open all the way up now. Lay your head right on your armpit if you can. Feel that expansion. It's like Velcro. I'm like letting go.
Yeah, it's really, it pulls that shoulder blade really back, you know.
Good, and we're gonna stack ourselves up. So we're gonna go back to the center of the armpit. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna push ourselves down. We're gonna get to the base of that shoulder blade. So I'm sorry, push your body up. Ball is gonna roll to the base of the shoulder blade. So stack those feet, bring it down to the base of that shoulder blade. You're right there. You can bring that upper arm if you can over or drop it on your head and hold on to the lower arm. But I'm going to bring that lower arm up. And porpoise right on through our mermaid, through the base of that shoulder into my anterior chest and into the back and into the front. Good. And then I want you to slowly bring that ball back up into the armpit. And do some back and forth motions as you get into that armpit, maybe even circle motions. Get a little into the front of the chest, a little back in the middle of that armpit. And bliss out, just bliss, exactly, back, forth, and then stack yourself up. We're gonna bring ourselves down one more time. Ball is gonna go into the upper arm. Oops. Oh, I kicked my way here. Okay, good. I thought I kicked you. It's like, I'm like, who am I getting? So sorry. Rotate that palm once you get in there and just rotate it as far as you can. Roll through all of that inside. We already did the back of the arm.
Yeah,
So-
those fingers are pretty substantial, they don't move.
I don't know, well, it was weird. It was, I was kicking something. It was hard. So I didn't think it was a human, but I would hate to be kicking humans. Any creature, really. Now let that head just lay on that arm. Just take a moment, sink in. Or on that opposite side. So I'm really feeling that shoulder pulling out, the humerus pulling out of the shoulder, really sinking and breathing. Inhale, exhale, push yourself forward. Back to the armpit. 12 o'clock hand goes back to 3. And then we're slowly gonna just rotate that ball back to the center of our sternum. Breast tissue, line everything up, adjust close. Now turn your head to the right, bring that hand on the left hand out, shoulder level at 9 o'clock. And I want you to bring this right hand and press in towards that left shoulder, sink on down. We'll see if I can remember how to do everything we just did. Oh, feel that sink, feel that spread. One more breath. If the ball is not just below the collarbone, bring it there. So if you need to bring yourself down a little bit, go ahead, find that spot. Inhale, exhale, sink. And at the base of our exhale, we're going to traction ourselves to our right hand, letting that ball slide right in the corner pocket. Stack those hips, let that head down, and float that right arm up and over your head. Just sink down here. Palm up, thumbs up as best as you can. It's hard. If this is too much, you can keep your hand down. Just press the weight into that shoulder. Relax that head as best as you can. One more breath here. Drift that right arm down, and then we're going to slowly spider crawl that left hand up to 12 o'clock. Nice and slow. Oh, here we go. All the way up to the front of that arm. So thumbs up, weight comes forward. So we're in the front of that armpit. You can use your head to press into that part of your arm too if you want to give it a little extra weight. Base of your exhale, let's bring it right to the center of that armpit. So stack yourself all the way on the side, palm open as best as you can. Feel that connection all the way into the fingers. Maybe it's because they're completely numb. Base of that exhale, bring that ball to the back of the armpit. Really make that weight go back.
Oh, it's my favorite place.
It's like I could stay here for a very long time. It's
Yeah,
very
especially
tight.
it helps keep those shoulders nice and back.
Mm-hmm.
Opens them up because we do so much of that forward stuff. Oh man.
It's like pushing my shoulder blade back. You're
It
absolutely
does.
correct.
I love it.
Make sure you relax your jaw though. When I push on my shoulder blades, it makes me want to clench my teeth. Don't do it. Good. Now what we're going to do here is we are going to center ourselves back into our armpit.
Mhm.
And we're going to bring ourselves up. Ball is going to roll down to the base of the shoulder blade. So here we go. Bring those feet up. Press yourself up. Ball goes right. Catch that base of the shoulder blade. If you want, you can drift upper arm up. Mermaid / porpoise your way through, or stay and play right there without bringing that arm up and over. Whatever feels good for you. Maybe bring it down. Maybe get it a little more into the chest. A little into the back, whatever you need.
I think I finally hear some rain.
Oh yeah, it is definitely raining. Set yourself down. We're going to bring this ball back into the armpit and make some nice, beautiful circular motions. Really get in wherever you need, front, back. That's the best part of our studio is when it rains. It sounds so blissful because we have like a metal roof. I'd say it's a tin roof, but I'm pretty sure it's probably aluminum. I don't know anybody that has a tin roof, but the Tin Roof Blues, man, is one of my favorite songs to play. So palm up, we're going to go into the upper arm. Yeah, I've weirdest dreams lately. Lots of music, lots of water.
Cool.
Yeah, I have got to start playing. I've been playing my trumpet almost every night in my dreams, so I probably should actually get it out and play. But if I'm playing in my dreams, do I really need to practice? I don't have anybody to play for anymore. So I guess I'll just play for
I
myself.
can see you with your mermaid tail sitting out on a rock, playing your trumpet in the middle of the ocean.
See?
I can see it.
Yeah, it's been happening. I've had all this water and music and like all
Yeah.
this stuff. Like I've got to, I haven't traveled for a long time. I gotta start going. All right.
Perfect profile picture there.
I love it,
There's
Paula.
Rachel out in the middle of the ocean.
Beautiful. Okay, what time is it? We have time. Good. Push your arms back up to your armpit.
Yes.
Bring this 12 o'clock hand back to 9 o'clock. Bring your 9 o'clock body back to center.
Oh.
We're gonna do a quick little thing that I always love to do that I don't think you can ever do enough of. We're gonna pull our necks. Bring your ball. If you want to switch over to your block, you even can. Find your collarbone on your right side, turn your head left, bring it down.
Well,
This hurt you? So you overstretch something. Be gentle. So use the pro ball. Use the pro ball and be gentle and then revisit it. So you can do it a couple more times, but do it gently. How did you fix it? Or did it just go away?
I just waited for it to go away.
Switch sides. Yep, so you just overstrained. So you had something really tight that needed to release. I wonder if it had to do with something from the back of your body, from that shoulder. Was it the same side or opposite?
It was like, it was on both sides.
Okay, interesting. Okay, then you guys can stay down. I gotta lift my mask up. What I want you to do, throw your ball all over the place. Find your chin and you're gonna go, bring your tongue between your teeth, go up and out. And you can do this laying down, you can do this standing up, you can do this in your
I think I
bed.
get better leverage with.
You can do it anywhere. It makes me so tired. And then just bring your hands behind your head and just give yourself a traction equally on both sides. So I'm pushing my chin down and pushing my head back. Engage your belly though. I just love that stretch. It's really raining.
Well, and then it stopped and then it started again. I was watching that kind of
I put
wall.
my windows up, right, ladies?
Really,
I hope so too. I hope I did. All right, we're gonna roll up the spine for the final. I think you did. Your windows look really good from here. Paula's look good.
Yeah, I know. I had mine up.
Yes, my windows are up.
Oh, yours
At
are
least-
the ones I worry about.
I never put my windows up. Okay, so we're gonna roll up our spine. Be mindful of your tailbone. So push yourself up appropriately. Don't just sit on your tailbone if your tailbone happens to be in the way, unlike the rest of us.
And if you do a nice little pelvic tilt here where you tilt, you shouldn't be hitting your tailbone. Really.
Should not. So engage that belly. Tilt
Yeah.
yourself down. We're using the gold ball so that we can do our back.
It's always
Crunch your
protect the
thing.
tailbone move when you tuck in
Protect the
like that.
tailbone, release the sacrum. It may
Yeah.
take you a little bit. We did not do the sacrum today, which is kind of cool. That's why we roll up our spine because we can't miss the sacrum if we roll up the spine. Bring those feet in, bring that weight, engage that belly, sink on down into that ball. Here we go. Lift the hips, bring yourself down when you're ready. Really focus on bringing that breath up the body as you go. Inhale, exhale, sink in. Lift the hips, bring yourself down. Sink. Lift hips, bring yourself down. When you get to where you've got ribs, you are more than welcome to crunch up. We love to crunch up here. So crunch, hold those hips and pelvis on the ground. Keep your chin tucked. Wrap your spine around the ball as far as you can without letting your head to your chin go away. Bring yourself back up. Up those hips, crunch it up. Adjust close, good luck.
It's perfect after the shoulder rolls too.
We just opened up all the shoulder blade. Now I'm getting those balls, like I'm literally pushing those balls in and wrapping. keep using the word push though. Push is bad, apparently. Pushing and hanging out
Yeah.
are the words I got in trouble for using during our training. Paula, of course, was perfect in every way.
Oh, sure, right. I just didn't say as much.
Well, that's one way to look good. Although that's the way I learn is I'm very much an auditory processor. So
Exactly.
I am a talker. I talk things out because I need to hear it sometimes to make it make sense because obviously I'm a trumpet player. I hear and see and work in patterns and I always have, always will. And so if the patterns are in my head, I can't see them. So I need to get them out.
See, and I'm a visual. I have to write it on paper sometimes. Just talking doesn't do it. Sometimes I have to write it on paper to get myself to really get it.
Yep. I mean, I sometimes when I was relearning to read again, I could only process and retain the information I wrote down with my own hand. So weird. So yeah, brains are interesting little devils.
Aren't they though?
And it's not your brain or my brain, it's the brain that does it to us because it's always trying to keep us safe. And the brain really cares about us, but sometimes forgets to let go of some of the patterns that don't serve us anymore. Or maybe the brain thinks that is the exact way you want to respond, but it's just a learned response. It's not actually the most appropriate way. So reprocessing and reprogramming the brain is pinnacle to being successful with communicating with the brain. Bring it all the way up. When you're ready, take one hand out, set yourself down, and take a moment. Just breathe.